Hello there, I'm Smart Bastard, and today I'm going to talk you through the start of my indie game project. Honestly, I have an idea of where I want this project to go, but I'm doing this for fun, and I'm not a professional game dev or video editor, so it's quite possible this series will quickly become a train wreck for multiple different reasons. So no promises about accuracy, quality, consistency, or anything, okay? Yeah? Good. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, the project. The most important thing about the new game is that I can actually build it. And I'm terrible at art and graphical design, and completely tone deaf, so I'm already a little short-handed in the artistic department. But that's okay. A lot of my favourite games also don't rely on fancy 3D graphics, like Crusader Kings 2, which I've somehow sank a scary amount of hours into. In fact, for those of you that don't know the game, 90% of it is literally just clicking through various menus. But somehow it manages to be engaging, challenging, and rewarding, and just keeps you clicking. I swear you begin to get even attached to the characters, even though they never have a single unique interaction or any form of dialogue. Of course, there are games that take this one step further, like Warsim, which shows that you can make an RPG without even a GUI, without even 2D images, and can still make something both engaging and fun. So although I'd very much like to make some sort of 3D RPG masterpiece, I've got to cut my cloth to suit my current abilities. What I want to build is something that uses as little graphics as possible, but still lets a player explore and interact with the world, where the wider world is simulated, and where a player's choices and actions have a real impact. And most importantly, a game which also provides a lot of replayability. Like CK2, I hope to leverage the power of simple choices to make a broader story for a player, but with a bit more of an interface than Warsim. And with that in mind, it was actually pretty simple to choose an engine for this project. You see, although I have tinkered with Unreal and Unity in the past, I'm actually a web developer, so most of my coding experience was with styling websites. Something not normally that helpful in making games. But the backends of the websites I've worked for are built using the .NET framework in C#. And you know which engine lets me use the same framework, language, and even the same software I currently use? Monogame. I've made the mistake before of trying new projects with tools I don't yet know how to use. But we don't have time to reinvent the wheel, okay? Sure, Monogame is less of an engine and more like a library, but that's fine for the sort of game we're making. A huge engine with all its fancy tools is probably complete overkill anyway. And onto the development. After getting my hands on as many free shortcuts and bits of code as I can, I realised that the next most important thing was to get a user interface up and running as soon as possible. Thankfully, I found this really cool pre-built UI library that I'm going to use, at least for now. It's actually really quite useful for a startup project since it comes packaged with various themes and 90% of the different elements I think I might need going forward. So into the project Geonbit went, and after adding a few quick buttons, I've been able to create us this basic menu we're currently looking at. Of course, there's only so many things that come neatly packaged as freebies, so I've had to do a fair bit of googling and watching a few YouTube tutorials to get some of my fundamental and boring structure done. The silver lining of this extra work is the new settings menu, which now lets us change between full screen and borderless by saving those settings to a file, and then reading them when needed. Yeah, sure, it's not mission critical, but it feels like getting through some of the less entertaining setup will pay off in the long run. Much more interesting than this was messing around with the UI library a bit more. I've even been able to get a few more of the different element types Geonbit provides to make this super basic game interface. Again, since I can't draw to save my life, the icons and images are all from various free asset packs. They also are only placeholders and probably won't make it anywhere near the final game. But having something there is a damn sight better than nothing at all, and hopefully you get the general idea about the layout I'm going for. I even added a little pause menu, so we can actually exit the game and go back to the main menu, and begin a new game if we wanted to. And with that, we've got a very basic start to the project. A project I still haven't actually named, but I hope to continue in my spare time, and you never know, actually finish it one day. I'm always open to thoughts and opinions, so please leave a comment below. Anyhow, until next time, ta-da!